Breaking news. Matatu fares have hiked across Nairobi after EPRA announced a massive fuel price increase effective midnight May 15, 2026. This is the Winners Media. Last night, Nairobians couldn't sleep. Not because of noise, not because of insecurity, because they were queuing for fuel. And this morning, your Matatu fare just went up. Tonight, the Winners Media tells you exactly what happened, who is responsible, and what comes next. Let's start with the numbers. Yesterday, EPRA announced new fuel prices effective midnight. Here is what you are now paying. At the pump in Nairobi. Petrol, 214 shillings 25 cents. Up 16 shillings 65 cents. Diesel, 242 shillings 92 cents. Up 46 shillings 29 cents. Kerosene, 152 shillings 78 cents. Unchanged. Motorists, traders and commuters say the sharp rise in fuel prices will directly affect transport costs, food prices and daily household expenses. And they are right, because this is not just about fuel. This is about everything. Now let's talk about your morning commute. Matatu operators have already announced fare increases, effective immediately. The Matatu Owners Association chairman, Albert Karakacha, confirmed operators have agreed to increase fares by 25%. 25%. Think about that. If you were paying 50 shillings to get to work, you are now paying 62 shillings. If you were paying 100 shillings, you are now paying 125 shillings. Every single day, every single trip. So who is really suffering here? You, the commuter, every single day. But here is what the Winners Media found. The Taxpayers Association of Kenya has called out Matatu operators for raising fares far beyond the actual fuel increase. They broke down the math. A standard 14-seater Matatu uses about 32 liters of fuel for a Nairobi to Nakuru round trip. The diesel increase adds only 587 shillings in extra fuel cost per journey. But with 14 passengers each paying 300 shillings more, that Matatu collects an extra 4,200 shillings per trip. That is nearly 8 times the actual fuel cost increase. This is the math they don't want you to see. Ordinary Kenyans are being overcharged every single day. Here is what most media won't explain to you. This fuel shock doesn't stay at the petrol station. It travels. First, Matatu fares go up. Already happening. Second, food prices rise. Maize, vegetables, meat, everything moves by diesel truck from farms to Nairobi markets. Third, your electricity bill increases. Thermal power plants run on fuel. Fourth, every business that uses transport passes the cost directly to you, the consumer. We are talking about a full cost of living crisis, triggered by one EPRA announcement at midnight. The government has announced a 5 billion shilling subsidy to cushion consumers. 5 billion shillings, divided among 55 million Kenyans. That is less than 100 shillings per person. Is that enough? You decide. Fuel at 242 shillings per liter. Matatu fares up 25%. Food prices rising. And more pain coming. That is the reality for ordinary Kenyans today. This is the Winners Media. We tell the stories that affect your life, directly, clearly, and without fear. Why does Kenya, a country sitting on geothermal energy, solar potential and wind resources, still depend so heavily on imported fossil fuel? These are the questions our leaders must answer. Not next year, not in parliament debates. Now, today, while Nairobians are queuing at petrol stations and counting coins for their Matatu fare. How is this fuel crisis affecting you personally? Drop your answer in the comments. Share this video so every Kenyan sees it. And follow the Winners Media, because the truth matters.